going on, guys? Uh, it's the day before the primaries, and I was sitting here thinking, what am I going to provide value to my fans or to the voters of Brooklyn Center, to the citizens here? What am I going to say to them, right? Because I haven't done any flyers, I haven't done any signs, and people must think I'm crazy because they're saying, well, Lang, how are the voters going to know you? How are they going to know who you are? Well, I've been out in the community for over 5 years, is what I can remember, just in Brooklyn Center alone. And I was working with communities outside of my own community. It wasn't just an ethnic thing for me, it was just whoever needed me. So I didn't want to talk about me. No more. I'm done. And I wanted to talk about true authenticity. Well, I met a lot of great people along the way, and I want to talk about them today. First, you guys are not going to like this, guys, students, friends, and acquaintances. But here I go. First, I want to say that at the beginning of this year, there was this girl that I met this year. Her sister reached out to me. She had said, hey, my little sister needs some help. And I was hesitant because I had just gotten out of a relationship myself. Very much hesitant. And I was also getting rid of all of my projects, all my volunteership. I was closing that chapter in my life completely. And I was going to start anew. But I didn't want to start out with a relationship. And I didn't want to go right into it, right? So I was like, well, this person that I've just met is asking for help. So I thought, why not? Let's go check it out. They invite me over to their house. And I remember it was a pretty cold day, and I just got done with a huge goodbye party with my my old crew in an organization that I was working with. And it was hard because I was late, and I was celebrating, and now that I was gonna jump right back into what I just left, helping people. Well, I arrived at the house, and I walked up the stairs, and I looked to my left, and I'm like, okay. There's a beautiful lady just sitting there. She had her hair parted to the side, and I'm looking at her like, wow, I'm gonna get myself in trouble here. When I first met her, and when I first meet people, I always ask, why are you struggling today? What's your greatest struggle? And this one didn't quite go the way that every other one goes to, because that's my go-to thing. But I was quite humbled. And just hearing her story inspired me to be who I am today. And at the time, I didn't realize it, but it was me who needed help, right? And she would always come up to me and surprise me and say, hey, did you know that so-and-so sees you as a competitor? Or so-and-so sees you as a threat? That's why they're so mean to you. I'm like, what? I just thought people were mean to me in general. No, they don't. They're not mean to you because you're not nice. They're mean to you because they're competing with you. I'm like, what is there to compete with? And she kind of put me in my place and helped me understand where I was in the hierarchy of people in society. I'm very thankful for that, because as we progressed in our friendship, it was quite amazing to me that she could encourage me by saying the most simplest things like, go for it, just do it. And she would just sit there and stare at me while I'm ranting like I always do. And it meant everything to me. Everything. And it helped me grow. And she would ask the perfect questions in the perfect areas. That was the first person I met this year that made a difference in my life. V. Lee, thank you. A few more. Let me start with the beginning of last year. You see, I first got introduced to the city council race um, at a Dai Tao event in St. Paul. And it was a community event, and he wanted to know what the struggles were within the community. So he has whole dinner set up for us. And I don't live in Ramsey County. I live here in Brooklyn Center. I always have, but I always like supporting the local candidates. So he held it at the brand new community center over on Como Park over there, or Como Avenue. And as I walked in, I was with another student of mine, Peter at the time, and I met a new individual. His name was Charlie Hang. When I first saw him, he was like just kind of, he had a look on his face like he was lost, right? And I knew just right there that he had the same look as I did at one point in time in my life, and as other students have at one point in time in their life. So I do what I do, and I always casually walk up to him and say, "Hey, man, what's up? My name's Leng. You know, you got a job? You got a car, driver's license? What are you doing today?" He's like, "Oh, I just got done with the Diet House campaign, and we were doing calls, and I learned a lot from him." I'm like, "That's great. That's great. Tell you what, I could use a guy like you on my team." And from there on out, we just hit it off. I basically, what I do for a living is I take individuals, I don't care who they are, and I let them shadow me all day long. And I always make sure that I wait for them, even though I'm going to be late for the next appointment, to wake up. We are millennials, by the way. We don't like waking up early. And so that I can go pick them up. And Charlie took it a point, and he always took it a step further, where he would take the train or take the bus to wherever we needed to meet. And what I would do is I would go to these nonprofit organizations, and I would, just let them sit there and listen while I do the talking. And some of these meetings were supposed to be business meetings, like partnerships, or, "Hey, can you help us?" Or, "What are you guys doing today? I want to know more." And they were so inspiring, but most of them, my students probably don't know this, but they were off the cuff. They were meetings, yes, they were scheduled meetings, and I wasn't wasting any time. My intention was to learn more about their organization, see if I can lend a hand, or if they can lend a hand for us. And each time, I would always see that look on their face, saying, that blank stare, like, who is this guy, right? And they're after every event, there'd be more events afterwards. SPNN, there's a TV station in St. Paul that I became a member of, and there was so much value there, right? We had so many ideas. We were helping individuals, just inspire them by just taking them to that station. And when they saw the TV studio in the back, they were like, "Wow, I'm actually in a TV studio." And that's just that little bit of time that we took to bring them there, and that gesture was just so amazing that it would inspire others to just come out of the shell. Charlie, thank you, sir. We went through a lot of intimate moments. I have also 2 other students that I met, and I basically met these guys at a house. We were hanging out, and I do what I do always. Same thing, I don't really change anything. Hey, except this time it was a group of 5 individuals. You guys got a job? You guys got a car, driver's license? What are you guys doing today? And every time they're like, nope, we got too many, parking tickets or speeding tickets to even get our license back. So what I did was I tried to get a program with a driver diversion program. I don't know if you guys know about that, but it allows you to get your license back while you're paying off your fees. And I asked this question to 5 individuals. And of course, all 5 of them look at me like, "Who the heck is this dude? Who is he?" Right? Who is he to come into this gathering, this event, and this just friendship night beer drinking thing that, to ask us, do we have a job? Who the hell does he think he is? Well, I just do what I do. And sure enough, there's 5 individuals, and after I get done asking the question, I get 2. Everybody leaves, and they're like, "Ugh, I don't want to be here." They feel a little awkward. But Peter and Chewy, I learned a lot from you guys too. You guys took that extra effort to come out of your shells to even come with me to those really, really lavish engineering firms, those lavish uh, construction firms, those lavish IT firms, to watch me and just sit down and learn those board meetings, those business, negotiations, all that stuff. I mean, I know how hard that is, guys. I know it is, and I thank you guys for taking the time and making that extra effort to come out and see me, and just learn from me, and actually more than anything, I know you guys see it, but I learn more from you guys than I do anybody else. I do. I'm very inspired by you guys because I know it's hard. I know it's hard, especially when you look at society the way it is today, that everywhere you go, you get told you're incompetent. You're never going to amount to anything. And the second you even try to come out of your shell, you get pounded and put right back down into it. A broken one, at least. Chui, Pa, and Peter Yang, thank you for inspiring me this year. Before I go to this next individual, I want to say something to my millennials out there today. I know I'm just ranting, and a lot of people don't like me pontificating and stuff, but this is me. This is who I am. A lot of people look at me like I'm a do-gooder, or I'm just hurting myself by helping others, and that I'm not capable of helping myself. And I thought about that for a sec. What about me says I'm hurt? Is it my quavering voice when I'm talking about my students or my friends, my really good friends, or is it the fact that I look like I'm hurt, right? I know I've been losing some weight, and I know that I got a little bit of acne and stuff, and I know I'm a little bit stressed, but it's just, it's me, it's who I am. So I get a lot of criticism, and I see a lot of other people get criticism. Tong Man, he showed his college degree in criminal justice. I was like, wow, this guy's got a criminal justice degree. And then I look at his 200 comment post, and more than 75% of those comments are like, it's your fault that you didn't get a good job in your field because you chose the wrong degree. I'm like, whoa, who are you to say that, right? And then there's more comments like, hey man, you just suck, dude. You just gotta go out there and get it. I'm like, really, guys? The guy took the time to get his 4-year degree, and you're gonna sit here and bash on him negatively because you made it through college somehow and didn't have any trials and tribulations? Life's hard, guys. It is. And it's not easy. It's not easy to just continue on with the life that you're living every day. And for me, everyone's asking me, like, how do you do it? Or why are you so special? I'm not. I'm no different. I've yet to find out what makes me different. And I never ask for feedback too often. At least I try not to. I get in a lot of debates with my friends that I've accumulated along the years, and some of them turn bad, some of them turn terrible, but to me, I value every single one. Tong Man, I know that you and I haven't met, but my brother, you have a beautiful family, beautiful car, beautiful house. You're doing just fine, bro, and don't let anybody put you down. And to the individual who was saying that, shaming him, saying, you picked the wrong degree. It's your fault. You didn't make that extra effort. First of all, don't equate your experience with theirs. It's not the same, man. It's just not the same. Just because you succeeded through college and chose IT, finance, or whatever, and you got your master's degree and you did great, and that everyone else has the ability to do the same, it's not the same, bro. You didn't live the same life as he did. And I hear you. I truly do hear you. So, I don't fault you for being negative, but I do want you to see from the outside view, not my view, not Tong Man's view, but just a third person standpoint of view, read it like it wasn't you, but it was your post, and see how it feels to be criticized in that way. And you'll know, and you'll understand that you owe yourself an apology, not me and Tong, but yourself. I'm here for you if you need me. I won't rant too long, but last but not least, this gentleman, his name is Jack Ming Hang. That guy, man, what a guy! I tell you, he brought hope back into my life. He was a troublemaker, though. That, he says whatever it is that he thinks in his head and just spits it out without understanding the consequences. But it made me laugh a lot because the dude made a fool of himself a lot. He reminded me of me when I was a lot younger, just throwing everything out there, see what happens, what result do I get, and I'll just go in that path, who cares? And it's courage. It really is courage. It's courage without having to fear the backlash of others. And that is value. And so I watched him the last 6 months. I met him 6 months ago, replay my life and make the same mistakes that I've made over and over and over. And every single time he would think that, oh man, Leng's gonna kill me this time. Leng's gonna kill me this time. Leng's gonna kill me. Every time, hey man, no, don't worry about it. Everybody makes mistakes. In this case, he had a pretty close to life-threatening one. And thinking back on it, I was definitely concerned about him, but I wanted to make sure he was calm because I've been there too. I've been through that phase, and he pulled through. Jack, you still got a lot to learn, brother, but you listen. That's key, and that's all that matters. Keep listening, and you'll get there. As for me, I'll leave it at that. I am running for Brooklyn Center City Council, and I'll be humbled to at least win this primary. And if I do win this primary, I will put 110% of no monies and anybody else's monies towards this campaign. Because what do? I let others speak for me. So here's my request. If I have impacted you and you're still watching this right now, please post a video or an audio recording of how I impacted you and help me through this race, because I think Brooklyn Center is full of millennials that could use our help as well. And not just help in terms of picking them up. No, I don't think they need a pick me up. They just need somewhere to go to show their talent, because that's who we are. We are millennials. We are talented. We grew up in a time where it transitioned from radio to TV to color TV, which also caused the biggest issues, which was the result of divorce rates. From 1989 to 1993, there was an 89% divorce rate here in America, and we lived through it. We watched our parents divorce each other, and that in and of itself is pretty hard. But we didn't suffer. No, we had the answer. We had the solution, right? Because we're empaths. All of us are. We feel. That's all we do is we feel. And that's why we're just so troubled, because we just do nothing but feel. And we're misunderstood because we have a bunch of emotions. So when we try to, give out our solutions, we're told to sit down and shut up all the time. Follow the silver line. Well, we felt like we were being told imprisoned, and law of the opposites. When you limit someone's freedom, they're going to do whatever it takes to get out of it. And so we were a little bit mischievous ourselves, and doing the opposite of everybody is telling us. When in fact, we are very, very, very grateful for the baby boomers and the Gen Xers to lay the foundations of the groundwork for us to build the future. Millennials, guys, I know you guys are creative, but let's take their boring old silver lining and put a frosting on top. Add a cherry to it. Make it pretty. Just copy, paste with style. And that's what I do. I just show you guys how to do that. And I also have others who show me how to do lots of other things, and together we can network. I'll tell you a story about yesterday. We went over to an estate sale. Jack and I, when we walked in that house, it was old, but it was immaculate. You know, it's got that uh, old style feeling. It's got green shaggy carpet and still got old frames everywhere. But I didn't feel any bad omens in that house. I felt really good, strong spirits in there. Just good environment, good atmosphere. And then you walk through the house and you walk to the back and you see all kinds of just books that says cures that society doesn't want to know, want you to know, or holistic healing. And then you got yoga. You could tell the people who lived in here took care of the house and they cared about themselves. And then we met the elderly lady that lived there. And immediately, you know, I turn on and I say, hey, you know, my being comes forward and says, what's your greatest struggle? And she says, keeping this house perfect. And I was like, what? And what she was saying was that keeping the house perfect was keeping the kids well fed while keeping the infrastructure, of course there's infrastructure there too, and just keeping herself sane. That's what she meant by keeping the house perfect. Everything else just kind of came along. And she, you know, she was going through some cancer and remission and all that stuff because she was part of a trial in Mayo. She was so blessed and thankful that her cancer was in remission, that she told us a bunch of stories about how accomplished she was, and her custom-made paintings and walls and pictures and all that other stuff. It was so inspiring. And the last thing that she said was this, you know, I really do wish that I had a few more kids. And it blew my mind, like, why am I going around helping all these individuals? And it's humbling to know that, you know, if I don't have kids to cherish, and I got these individuals that are suffering and everything else, you know, I'm kind of replacing my need to cherish and value something with them. You know, I can see them as my kids. I know that's kind of weird, but I do see that they see me as a father figure as well. But together we make a really cool group, and hopefully that inspires all. We, together as one, can make something great here in Brooklyn Center, guys. And I believe Brooklyn Center can use it. We don't need help. We just need someone to come out and say, hey, let's be creative and let's do something different, because it's not dangerous to do and look different. As you can see, I'm not really even, you know, dressed up today. I look normal all the time. So if I win these primaries, guys, I will give you my beginning, middle, end, and how we can shape Brooklyn Center. I'm not looking to reshape it. I'm actually looking to just shape it, because right now it's just a big 8-mile square. That's it. But we got some beautiful places here that we can use. I have traveled all of the square footage here in Brooklyn Center. Literally, I walked all the neighborhoods myself. I didn't really interact with the houses and knock on doors, because I didn't feel like I wanted to cause any sort of anguish or fear amongst people. I mean, look at me, right? I look kind of scary, right? My name is Leng Xiong, and I'm running for Brooklyn Center City Council. If you know me, put a video out there and how I inspired you, and maybe, just maybe, we can win this campaign together as one. Thanks, guys.